How are you guys doing? I realized yesterday, so I plan to do Write 31 Days Q&A on Wednesdays, but yesterday we had our chat with Amy Lynn Andrews, so I didn't get a chance to do anything that was really specifically for all of the wonderful Write 31 Days community. So I wanted to jump in today because we had some questions left over from the chat with Amy yesterday, and so I thought I'd answer a couple of them that I knew how to answer, and then we could just chat, and you can tell me if you've joined the challenge, if you've thought of your topic, if there's another question you have, you can let me know. If you know of anybody you think might be online right now on Twitter that should join us, if you just swipe right on your screen, I don't know if that was right. It's right for me. It might be the opposite for you. If you swipe right across the screen, you'll have the option to share. And so you can share to Twitter and invite people to come hang out with us. So how are you guys doing? It is rainy. Looking out my window, it's rainy and gross here. But I'm okay because that means it's going to go from 90 degrees to about 79 degrees. And that feels like fall and football and all kinds of awesomeness to me. So I'm really excited. So I'm good with a rainy Thursday. Is that what day it is? Gosh, this short week. I feel like I can't get caught up. I don't know how you guys are feeling this week, but I feel like I'm just running behind, which is why we're doing our Wednesday Q&A on a Thursday. So hopefully you guys are doing really well and you're planning for your Write 31 Days challenge. Okay, if you're new to this, if you just jumped on, Write 31 Days is a yearly writing challenge. So for the entire month of October, thousands of bloggers come together and commit to writing every day and publishing every day on their blog for 31 days. So October 1st to October 31st, about any topic you choose. So we don't tell you what you're writing about. There's no writing prompts. If you have maybe an ebook idea you've been wanting to try, or a book idea you've wanted to try, or you want to do 31 days of recipes, whatever it is that you know that you can write about successfully, and successfully looks differently for everybody, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're writing 1,000-word posts every day. But if you can write about your topic for 31 days, you get to pick the topic, right? So if you want more information about the challenge and you want to sign up, you can go to write31days.com. That's WRITE, the numbers 31, like the 31st day of the month, days.com. And so when you sign up, you'll be added to an email list that gets maybe 5 emails a year. It's very limited. We're not going to spam you. And then you'll also find a whole resources page to help you get set up if you don't already have a blog. Actually, I just put the chat with Amy Lynn Andrews on that resources page from yesterday, so you can go check that out. She answers a bunch of technical blogging questions over there, and so you can also find the link to the Facebook group that you can join. So we're just offering daily encouragement. And starting tomorrow, I'm going to tell you that my usual Friday favorites is going to be a little different for the Write 31 Days community. I have a really fun giveaway lined up for tomorrow that is going to be on my blog, but I have something extra special just for the Write 31 Days community. So if you're part of that Facebook group or on that email list, you will be finding out what that is tomorrow. So I have a couple fun things like that in the works for you guys because I know this is a big challenge that you've accepted, and I just want to make sure that you feel loved and encouraged and that you want to keep going. So I don't want you to give up and lose steam halfway through October. So I'm coming up with some fun ways to keep you motivated. So for our Q&As today, I'm going to slide this way a little so I can actually see the questions on the screen behind you. So here's a question. These are a couple questions we didn't get to. These questions were all asked in the Facebook group of the writers who are joining us for the challenge. So here's one of the questions. Do you automatically convert readers who sign up for 31 days to your general email list after October, or send an email with a link to sign up? So there are a couple ways that you can do this. So you can either set your series up so that it has its own email subscription list, which would mean that it wouldn't go out to your RSS feed the same way your regular blog posts would. Some people do that because they don't want to overwhelm their blog subscribers with daily posts. You could also change it so that it goes out just once a week, And so everybody would get one email that has all 7 days of your last post, and they would just get those once a week for the month of October. What I do is I just post them on my blog. I don't do anything special. The writing of the blog post takes so much time for me that I don't actually spend any time changing any of the settings in my RSS feed or creating a new email list. So the interesting thing about the challenge is I found that even if some people don't necessarily read every post, or maybe I lose a subscriber or two, I generally gain more subscribers because I'm putting out more quality content. And so I don't ever worry about that. So anybody who subscribes to my blog during the series just is subscribing to my regular RSS feed. So the regular blog emails that go out. So there's no transferring them. If you do set up an email subscription just for your series, then yes, you need to follow up and specifically ask them to join your regular blog RSS feed after the challenge. You can't just add them unless you say specifically when they sign up that this is signing them up for both your series and to receive daily emails from you or regular RSS emails from you after the challenge. So you have to be very clear with what they're signing up for. It's called the Can Spam Act. In case you were wondering about that, you can't just randomly add people to your email list. You have to tell them they're being added and give them a way to unsubscribe, okay? So that is that question. And if you guys have other questions while I'm talking, feel free to use the chat. I will go back and catch up later. So anything you ask today that I don't get a chance to answer, next week when we do the Q&A, I'll try to answer those, okay? So are there any sites that you can recommend to enhance my blog and make it look more appealing for someone who's totally not technical? Listen, I get this. I really do. The technical side of blogging is hard. It's hard to figure out widgets and plugins and how to add all the doohickeys and stuff that you need, that you want to have on your site, right? Sometimes you just want to be able to log in and write the post. I highly recommend for that kind of an experience, Dan King at fistbumpmedia.com. Dan is an awesome guy to work with. It's who he hosts my site and he hosts the Right 31 Days site. You can tell him I sent you. And his whole goal is to make it so easy for bloggers to blog that they never have to worry about any of the technical stuff. So he'll take care of doing all of the updates that show up for your plugins. He'll take care of the security. He'll take care of the hosting. He'll take care of everything. So all you have to do is show up, know your site's going to work, and publish your post. As far as design goes, it kind of depends what you want there. There's some really great blog designers. Dan can do blog design. His Dan King, and it's fistbumpmedia.com, in case you missed that before. If you just Google Fist Bump Media, his site will come up and you'll be able to contact him. But I know that there are some really great blog designers. There actually, if you're in the Facebook group for the Right 31 Days community, you might want to just check and see if there are any website designers in that group, because it's really fun to be able to support our own writers if that's something they also do. I do highly recommend, and this is completely dependent on your budget, Ted Barnett at Contemplate Designs is phenomenal. He is my wish list blog designer at some point. I also really love, my personal blog uses a theme from Pretty Darn Cute Designs, and she designs amazingly beautiful and simple to customize WordPress themes that you can use. And when you purchase the theme, you get this entire walkthrough of exactly how to customize everything. So I highly, highly recommend Pretty Darn Cute Designs. So just because a lot of the WordPress themes you find tend to be designed by really techie guys, which is cool. But I'm not a techie guy. I'm a girl that likes pretty designs. So that is my recommendation for that one if you're looking for a pretty theme that's easy to customize. Okay, I think I would love blogging so much more if I liked my pages and didn't have to stress about buttons and widgets. Okay, again, Fist Bump Media, Dan King, definitely email him. So, oh, hey, from Brazil, super fun. You can also join us for Right 31 Days. It's international. You don't have to be in the US to do that, which is really fun. You will have to be in the US for some of the fun giveaway things I'm going to have, but we do what we can. Okay, so for 31 days, should you try to have other pre-written posts that do not apply to your topic? I don't know that I can imagine anybody would have any sort of brain capacity left after writing for 31 days straight. That seems very overwhelming to me. I'm going to say no. Ruth, I'm with you. No. You're already going to be producing content every day for an entire month. And I would suggest starting now to produce that content, right? So that you're not writing every day the day before. I don't know, I will probably give you that recommendation every time we do one of these chats. I would say that you need to pick a topic that your readers already come to you for, right? So if you're not a DIY blogger, I don't recommend spending 31 days going so far off what your normal topics are that your readers are like, whoa, where's what I'm used to finding? Try to find something that feels like a natural fit. Thank you for loving my necklace. It's from Noonday. So the best thing about finding content for 31 days that fits what you already write about is that it'll feel like a natural extension of your blog to your readers and to your new readers, right? So you also don't want to attract new readers for 31 days and then November 1st they come and see completely different content and are like, what? I did not sign up for this. So that is my suggestion. Keep October as simple as possible because it's going to feel crazy. No matter how much work you do ahead of time, it just is, and we're all in it together. We will go through the crazy together, I promise. Okay, so here's another one. I'm using a WordPress account for my blog, but dependent on mobile devices. I tried to use PicMonkey to make buttons on an iPad, but it doesn't work with mobile devices. Okay, so looking for suggestions on image creation on a mobile device, specifically an iPad. I know that Canva, which is the site that I love to use, does have some mobile capability. And I also really like, now this depends on what kind of images you want to create, but Font Candy is an app that you can use that I really love. It's really fun. It gives you the ability to put all kinds of really interesting text, different fonts. Of course, it has the in-app purchases and stuff. But that is an app that I like to use on my phone if I need to just put text quickly over an image. So I like that one a lot. Canva I love. In that resources section on Write 31 Days, there's a link to the book that I wrote called Creative Basics that has a lot of other image creation tips and tools and recommendations. So Word Swag is another great one. I recommend in that too. It does get overwhelming. I will say if you just Google that, it gets a little, you almost get choice paralysis and can't figure out where to go. So just make sure when you're reviewing the apps that you check to make sure that it is iPad compatible before you put it on your iPad because some of them just don't work well on iPads. So, oh, yay. Thank you guys for the Creative Basics love. I love doing that so much. So I'm really glad that you liked it. Okay, so last one here. Oh, this is fun. And if you guys have any answers to this, I want to hear them. What are your top recommendations for blogging conferences to attend, preferably on the East Coast? Well, you're in luck because most conferences that I'm aware of tend to be at least in the middle of the country, if not on the East Coast. So I get it. I live in Pennsylvania. I like to stay on the East Coast. The travel's just easier. So there is a site, actually, if you just Google this, you can find a whole bunch of them. But yes, okay, so She Speaks and Illume are two Katie suggested. There's also a website called The Blog Stylist that I just found today, and I'm going to go subscribe to her blog because it's really cute. And she has an events and conferences calendar on her site where you can sort it just by conference. Now, these are worldwide, so they're not just... you know, I found one I really wanted to go to, but it was in Australia. So you're going to have to make sure that it actually is an East Coast event. But it's a really great list of all of the blogging conferences that are pretty well known. So you can go check that out. Also, I just really liked her site, so that was fun. So I also highly recommend the Declare Conference. That one's in Dallas, not East Coast, but close enough. right? So you can get a pretty inexpensive flight to Dallas from just about anywhere. Absolutely love those girls. I love speaking there. I love their heart. Really good one. 2-to-1 conference is East Coast 2, yes. And no, it was not the Pro Blogger event in Australia, although that one is on my dream list someday. I would love to go to that one. Okay, so Influence Conference. That one happens in Indianapolis. It's actually happening next week. If you're going to be there, say hi to me. I'm going to be speaking twice. I'm doing a session. It's one of the revival sessions on the internet. So that's going to be fun. Yay! You're going to... Good. I'm so glad you're going to be there. So it's hard to fly anywhere from North Dakota, I bet. Oh, gosh. Okay, so Influence. Now, this is the last year that Influence is doing their big conference, but they have some other stuff planned for next year. So I also just really highly recommend the Influence community. If you're a blogger or you're a creative, if you are a store owner or an entrepreneur, I love the Influence community so much. So even if you can't necessarily attend their conference, every month, if you're a member, you get access to really great courses. And so it's sort of this ongoing education, learning piece that I really, really recommend. So love them. I found one called Blog U Conference, Blog University, I guess. That one happens in Baltimore, so I don't know what part of the East Coast she was looking for exactly, but, conference. Okay, so that question was, what conference do you recommend for meeting with publishers? And that's not really why I go to conferences, to be honest with you. But I will say Illum has quite a few opportunities to do that. Influence is going to have an opportunity to meet, I think, with the Tyndale publisher. A lot of blogging conferences have that opportunity set up. I don't know. I think She Speaks maybe does. No, She Speaks technically is not a blogging conference. It's a writing and speaking conference, so you don't have to be a blogger to attend that. And so I also found this one looks really fun. Haven. It's in Atlanta. And this one seems to be geared more towards bloggers who maybe do DIY or home decor or something, but it looked really beautiful. So that, I think I might have to go back and check out a little more and see what that one's about. But if you guys have other suggestions on really great blogging specific conferences on the East Coast, feel free to share them. But I will be, let's see, as I declared this year, I'm going to be at Influence next week. So if you guys are there, I'd love to see you. If you happen to have your Write 31 Days shirt and you want to bring it, I will be rocking mine. So maybe we can get a picture together. And oh, good. Okay, so Haven is everything I was hoping it would be based on that comment. Yay. And then I will be, after that, speaking at my own church, actually in Pennsylvania. Not a blogging conference. I'm just going to be speaking there. And then I will be at Raising Generations today, which is also not a blogging conference, but it's in Rochester, New York. And it's a great conference for moms. So that's in October. So that's where I'll be. Yay, you got your shirt in the mail yesterday. I would love if you guys get your shirts. I got the tank top. Doesn't matter if you got the tank top or the t-shirt. If you got your Write 31 Days shirt, I would love for you to take a picture of it and hashtag Write 31 Days and tag me so I can see it. It was really fun. I got to put a little collage together of some of the girls who got theirs first and share it. So it makes me so happy that you guys love them as much as I do. So thank you for that. So those were all the questions I had for today. Oh, where can you buy a shirt? Okay, I have to check and see. So I did them on Teespring, so it's teespring.com/write-31-days. I can, if you look back on my Instagram, you'll be able to find a link to it as well. The campaign closed, but I think that if enough people pre-order, it will open up again, so you can order another one, and I'll add the link to the shirts on the resources page too, on the write31days.com site, so you can check it out. So I will do that. Okay, that was it. That's all I had for today. Those were awesome questions. If you guys have any other questions at any point, either about the challenge or just things you want answered during these Q&A periscopes, you can email write31days@gmail.com and we will answer those. And starting next week, if you're in the Facebook group, an awesome team of girls are going to start helping me. So ask your questions. Somebody will always be available to answer that for you, and invite friends to join us if you want to. The more the merrier. Really, this is open to anybody. Even if you have friends who just love to write and they don't have a blog is not necessary. Encouraged, but not necessary. So we are so for you, and we are cheering for you, and we know you can do this. You can do it. Thousands of writers have gone before you and done it. You've got this. So don't make it too complicated. Keep it simple. Do what works for you. All right? So hopefully I'll see a bunch of you over in the Facebook group later if you're not already there. And tomorrow, make sure that you hang out with me on Periscope so you can get that little insider scoop and check out that giveaway I'm doing for you guys, okay? So I will see you guys soon. Bye.